Shout out to James Stevenson for posting this excellent chart. The top 25 vehicle models sold in the United States, year-to-date annualized rate in white for 2023, plus the 2022 full-year figures. Number 1, by miles, the F-150. Wonder what happens if Ford goes bankrupt due to these UAW strikes. Number 2 and 3, also pickup trucks. Tell you what, by the way, 5 years from now, this is going to look very different when Cybertruck's been rolled out and ramped up. Number 4, the Toyota RAV4. Again, 5 years from now, when Toyota are headed for bankruptcy, this is going to look very different. And number 5, Tesla's Model Y. Of note, as production has continued to ramp, miraculously, more Model Ys being sold. 2022 cut off here. Annualized for 2023. Probably another 50 or 60% additional production. So much for the supposed demand issues. How is it that Tesla's selling more Model Ys year over year in the United States? That's weird. If I didn't know any better, I'd think the issue is production, not demand. The real question is, how far up the top 25 models will the Model Y climb? Just outside the top 10, Tesla's Model 3. But with refresh Model 3 in the US just around the corner, I expect in 2024 it'll probably crack the top 10 once again. And while we're on the topic of Tesla's vehicles, I found this on X definitely worth sharing. In Israel, a man faced a harrowing encounter with Hamas terrorists while driving his Tesla. Miraculously, he managed to evade the attackers by swiftly accelerating his Tesla to speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour. He attributes his survival to the Tesla's rapid acceleration. This is absolutely shocking stuff. I'm really happy to know that Tesla's insane performance was able to save a life here. Unbelievable. You can see there's bullet holes throughout the vehicle. What an absolutely horrific experience to go through. Good news, the guy survived. Absolutely shocking stuff happening right now. Let's move on. How's this for a headline? US electric vehicle sales hit record high. Makes two of us. Tesla loses market share. This is quite hilarious. Electric vehicle sales in the United States jumped to more than 300,000 for the first time in the third quarter, but industry leader Tesla's market share slipped to the lowest on record. Oh no, it's all over. I better dump my stock. Tesla now dominates just half the market. God damn. Down from the 62% it held in the first quarter, despite a price war started by the Elon Musk-led company to solidify its foothold in the competitive EV arena. We've been over this before. Let's say there's one company on earth producing electric vehicles. By default, they've got a 100% market share. As soon as a single other company produces a single other electric vehicle and sells it, they've lost their 100% market share. It is inevitable over time as more companies begin producing electric vehicles, even if not many of them relative to Tesla. The Tesla's overall share will come down from the absurd levels it was previously at. I mean, oh no, it's now about 50%. Tragic. However, the company could reverse the downward trend with the launch of its Cybertruck electric pickup truck, which is set to be delivered to customers in the current quarter, the market research firm said. Yeah, I mean, not really likely. I think over the long term, Tesla's market share in the US is going to trend down. I don't know where it bottoms out. Could be around 15, 20, 25, maybe as high as 30, 35%, somewhere in that vicinity, I'm guessing. And it is just a guess. But it's ridiculous to, like, just imagine if Tesla, for example, had a 50% global market share of vehicle sales, they'd be doing about 40 million vehicles per year, about double their publicly stated goal for give or take the end of the decade. Playing catch up, other automakers have been aggressively cutting prices to counter a tough demand environment triggered by the high inflation and rising borrowing costs. Oh, did somebody say other automakers have been aggressively cutting prices? I thought Tesla had a demand issue and they existed in a bubble. Why would other companies also be cutting prices aggressively? I thought that you just advertise and suddenly you don't have to cut prices in a very tough economic environment. It's weird. That's really strange. Higher inventory levels, more product availability, and downward pricing pressure have helped spur continued linear growth of EV sales in the US. So Tesla's US market share takes a hit. Check this out. Just absolutely hilarious. Tesla in red, still absolutely dominating. The price war started by Tesla has brought average EV prices down to $50,683 in September, down from $52,212 in the prior month. Total EV sales for the third quarter rose nearly 50% from a year ago. Do you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to read it again. Total EV sales for the third quarter rose nearly 50% from a year ago and accounted for a record 7.9% of total industry sales, the report showed. So let's do some quick math because this is fun. And a lot of this stuff is not intuitive. Watch this. 7.9. That's a 50% growth rate on 7.9. If that happens again, I'm not saying it will, but if it does, suddenly EVs are almost 12%. And again, almost 18%. And again, almost 26%. Again, almost 27%. Again, almost 40%. Again, almost 60%. And again, almost 90%. So let's just say hypothetically, in a different version of the simulation, over the next 6 years, electric vehicle sales rise year over year, roughly 50%. 6 years from now, which is 2029, electric vehicles could be 90% of the vehicle market. Not a prediction, just pointing out how math works. Doesn't exactly sound intuitive when you're talking about currently being at 7.9%. Rivian handed over more cars in the third quarter than analysts expected. Well done, Rivian. Or poorly done analysts, not sure which is which. And reiterated its annual production target of 52,000 vehicles. And now more on electric vehicle prices. The average price of new electric vehicles dropped by almost $15,000 in a year. Thanks to Tesla's aggressive pricing strategy, the average transaction price for a new EV is now less than $51,000. So, that's weird. Kind of feel like Tesla's achieving their mission, making these things better and more affordable, accelerating the world's transition. Once again, Tesla does not exist in a bubble. So just some key highlights here. The new electric vehicle transaction price fell more than 22% in September compared with the same month last year. 22%. I wonder what happens if that occurs again. So as we heard earlier, the average transaction price of a new electric vehicle in the US was under $51,000. A year ago, it was over $65,000. Obviously, this is the average and Tesla's carrying. They have massive market share. So this is skewing stuff a little bit. But again, they don't exist in a bubble. You either need to follow Tesla's prices or you will not be in business. The average transaction price of all new vehicles in the US, not just electric, currently just under $48,000. That being said, if Lucid can actually start selling some vehicles, they may marginally increase the average transaction price on new electric vehicles and vehicles in general sold in the US. But unfortunately, things don't seem to be going so well. Lucid still hasn't reported their Q3 production and deliveries. For the past year, they've reported them on the 12th or 13th. So not sure what's taking so long this time. Tesla Boomer Mama with a hilarious post. They are counting, making sure not to forget anything. That's right. With such a small number, it all counts. This was a classic from Holmars. Lucid deliveries were so good they didn't want to announce them. And I mean, we're still tumbleweeds, nothing at all. It's certainly possible that they're absolutely atrocious and they're figuring out how exactly to tell investors that everything's fine when in fact they know that the company's on fire and headed for imminent bankruptcy. Or maybe they're brainstorming about their new advertising campaign. Maybe instead of spending $100 million advertising their products in a single year, they could spend $1 billion. Maybe that'll help. And now, onto the Tesla Semi, which outperformed rivals in a real-world test. A trucking industry real-life look at the electric Tesla Semi demonstrated its initial performance advantages in range and charging efficiency compared with counterparts from established manufacturers like Freightliner and Volvo. A Semi operated by PepsiCo travelled more miles per day on average than any other vehicle in the Run on Less event organised by who cares who organised it. For more than 2 weeks, starting September 11th, the Truck Research Group tracked information on charging infrastructure, cost of ownership, truck performance, charge management, and other metrics as 22 vehicles zigzagged across North America, fulfilling actual orders. Aside from humbling Tesla's skeptics, by the way, special shout out to Bill Gates, the event demonstrated that electric trucks can match the operations of their diesel counterparts. Drivers operating from several depots successfully used chargers throughout each day in a display that called into question strongly held convictions about the limits of trucking battery range. Quote, the aha there for me, and I think a lot of people is, we got caught up in this trap of thinking about range as miles per charge. Almost half of the trucks were using, quote, second charge events during the shifts, including Tesla. So yeah, truck stops, unloading, whatever, opportunity to charge again. Why did we not get that? That's what we do with gasoline and diesel, he said. Check this out. Below is a representative sample of Class 8 trucks that participated in the Run on Less event. The data illustrates each operator's miles travelled. So I don't even need to have the labels on screen at the same time. Which colour is Tesla? Correct. Towering over all of the so-called competition. I mean, this is an indictment on all the other tech available. The pink one here, Nikola, well done. At least they have some actual products now, but haven't apparently delivered on the capabilities that were promised. Now, this is very important. We're currently seeing an example in terms of technology of a one-horse race, pun intended. Okay, second best, somewhere between 1/3 and half as many miles traveled in a single day versus Tesla Semi. Now, why does this matter? Because the amount of miles you can travel means the amount of shit you can move, and the distance you can move the shit you have to move. So it's really important. Far more important than range for a consumer vehicle, which is more dependent on their usage, as opposed to a semi-truck, which sole purpose is to do miles every day. I'm telling you guys, there are going to be multi-year wait lists for Tesla Semi when word gets out and people start to understand the capabilities, the cost efficiency, the savings, and blow away the myths about a lack of range and so on. Just look at this. Nothing else comes close. This is embarrassing for Tesla's so-called competition. Speaking of, Ford to cut one shift at Michigan F-150 Lightning electric vehicle plant. Now that's not good, is it? We saw earlier, Ford's F-150, not the Lightning, but the F-150, period. The number one selling vehicle model in the United States last year and this year by a big margin. Ramping up production of their F-150 Lightning is Ford's one chance of surviving. I said ramping up, not slowing down. And cutting one shift means slowing down. Worse, Ford says it's not a result of the UAW strike, but cites supply chain constraints. Ford said on Friday it will temporarily cut one of 3 shifts at the Michigan plant that builds its electric F-150 Lightning pickup truck, citing multiple constraints, including supply chain issues. So, do some rough math here, that means roughly 33% less production, when they really should be ramping up production quarter over quarter by those kind of numbers. Ford didn't say how long the production cut would last. Ford said it was, quote, working through processing and delivering vehicles held for quality checks after restarting production in August. Oh, God. Maybe this supply chain stuff's a little bit of an excuse. Working through processing and delivering vehicles held for quality checks after restarting production in August. The Balls Deep Journal reported on Friday that a UAW official, who I personally might not trust, said in a memo that Ford was considering cancelling a shift, citing slowing demand, bullshit, and indicated that the company was looking to build more gasoline-powered trucks instead. What a load of shit. Quote, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that our sales for the Lightning have tanked, quote, the memo said, according to the newspaper. Yeah, I don't find that likely, to be honest. The F-150 Lightning's doing well, selling well. They just aren't making anywhere near enough of them yet. And not to add insult to injury, but just thought I'd wrap up here with yet another sighting of the soon-to-be F-150 killer, Tesla Cybertruck. Production candidates rolling around all over the United States now. Got to be a few days, maybe weeks, or maybe a month or so at most, maybe 2, until deliveries of these bad boys begin. And at that point in time, it's game over. Let me know in the comments below, how many Cybertrucks have you reserved? Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a fuck ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, Here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy. Wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it. You'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.